Hey. In this lecture, we'll explore the origins of Zen in China. In addition, we'll explore how koans in Zen differ from conventional knowledge and their unique significance in the practice of Zen. Presenting the Bodhidharma Koan. Why did Bodhidharma come from the West? Why did Bodhidharma travel to the East? As we've seen in a previous video, Zen moves the other way. Thus, Zen practice involves moving away from conventional thinking. Koans serve as a tool for breaking beings free from conventional thinking and established knowledge. In this chapter, I will offer insights into the key concepts of Zen philosophy by elaborating on some crucial points in this poem. Let's begin by exploring some information about the monk Bodhidharma. Legend has it that Bodhidharma, the founder of the Chinese Chan, Zen, school of Buddhism, once met with Emperor Wu of the Liang dynasty. Emperor Wu was a devout Buddhist and had built many temples and monasteries throughout his kingdom. He eagerly awaited Bodhidharma's arrival, hoping to impress him with all the good deeds he had done for Buddhism. When Bodhidharma arrived, Emperor Wu asked him, "I have built many temples and ordained many monks. What merit have I earned?" Bodhidharma replied, "None whatsoever." Emperor Wu was taken aback by this response. He was used to being respected and praised for his religious patronage, and he didn't understand why Bodhidharma would dismiss all his good works. He asked, "What then is the essence of Buddhism?" Bodhidharma replied, "Vast emptiness, nothing holy." Emperor Wu, who had expected a more conventional answer, was further perplexed. He asked, "Who is standing before me?" Bodhidharma replied, "I don't know." This response infuriated Emperor Wu, who felt that he was being mocked. He asked, "If you don't know who is standing before you, how can you teach others?" Bodhidharma replied, "I have come to this country to spread the teachings of the Buddha. I have no concern for titles or ranks. If your mind is not clouded by unnecessary things, this is the best season of your life." With these words, Bodhidharma left the palace and traveled to the Shaolin monastery, where he taught the monks seated meditation and a martial arts form that became known as Shaolin Kung Fu. Emperor Wu, meanwhile, was left to ponder Bodhidharma's cryptic words and the implications of his teachings. This story highlights Bodhidharma's emphasis on direct experience and the practice of meditation over mere intellectual understanding. It also reveals his rejection of conventional ideas about merit and status, and his refusal to bow to authority or to be swayed by flattery. For Bodhidharma, the only true path to enlightenment was the one that each person had to discover for themselves, through their own effort and insight. Let us contemplate for a moment and delve into the continuation of Bodhidharma's life after his departure from the emperor. It is worth remembering that in ancient China, the act of spending several years in solitude was regarded as a highly esteemed achievement. After his meeting with Emperor Wu, Bodhidharma embarked on a journey that would shape the course of his life and legacy. His travels took him to the Shaolin Monastery in the remote mountains of Henan province, where he would spend many years in quiet contemplation and teaching. In the mountains, Bodhidharma developed a reputation as a master of Chan, Zen, Buddhism, renowned for his ability to transmit the essence of the teachings through direct experience and personal encounter. He taught his students to focus on the present moment, to cultivate mindfulness in everyday activities, and to see through the illusions of the mind to the true nature of reality. According to the legend, Bodhidharma spent 9 years in a cave near the Shaolin Monastery, facing a wall in silent meditation. This practice, known as wall gazing, became a hallmark of Chan, Zen, practice and exemplified Bodhidharma's emphasis on the cultivation of a direct, unmediated experience of reality. During his time at Shaolin, Bodhidharma is said to have developed a series of exercises to improve the physical strength and endurance of his students. These exercises would later evolve into the martial arts form known as Shaolin Kung Fu, which still remains popular today. Despite his influence on the development of Chan, Zen, Buddhism, very little is known about Bodhidharma's actual biography. His teachings were transmitted mainly through oral tradition and the writings of his disciples, and his legacy has been the subject of many stories and legends. His teachings were transmitted mainly through oral tradition and the writings of his disciples. Although Buddhism was gaining popularity in China, Bodhidharma had difficulty finding followers. Apart from Shengfu, who left for the south shortly after being ordained, only 2 other disciples are mentioned in historical accounts, Tao Yu and Hui Ko, both of whom studied with Bodhidharma for 5 to 6 years. Bodhidharma's most significant contribution to Zen lies in his emphasis on direct experience and personal encounter as the means to enlightenment. Rejecting the notion of relying solely on scriptures and intellectual study, he encouraged his students to cultivate their own inner wisdom through meditation and self-discovery. In addition, Bodhidharma also stressed the integration of physical and spiritual practice, encouraging his students to engage in physical exercises to strengthen their bodies and discipline their minds. This approach ultimately led to the development of the martial art of Shaolin Kung Fu, which endures to this day. In summary, Bodhidharma's teachings helped establish the foundation for Zen Buddhism's emphasis on direct experience, self-discovery, and the integration of physical and spiritual practice. These principles continue to shape Zen practice to this day. Now that we've learned about Bodhidharma, let's delve into the topic of koans in Zen Buddhism. In Zen Buddhism, a koan is a paradoxical statement or question that is designed to challenge a student's preconceptions and to encourage them to think in new and unconventional ways. The word koan comes from the Chinese word gong'an, which means public case or precedent. Koans are typically used in the context of meditation practice, with a teacher presenting a student with a koan and then asking them to reflect on it deeply. The purpose of a koan is multifaceted. First and foremost, it is a means of helping a student break free from habitual patterns of thinking. The human mind is conditioned to seek out logical explanations and to make sense of the world around us. Koans, however, are designed to be unanswerable using conventional modes of thinking. This forces the student to engage in a different kind of inquiry, one that is more intuitive and experiential. Another important purpose of a koan is to help the student develop a more direct and intimate understanding of their own mind. By confronting the limitations of their own thinking, students are able to transcend their ego and develop a more profound understanding of themselves and the world around them. This process of self-inquiry is essential for the development of insight and wisdom, which are key components of the Zen path. Moreover, koans are believed to be a direct means of attaining enlightenment. Unlike traditional philosophical or religious teachings, which rely on rational thought and logical analysis, koans are designed to be experiential in nature. By engaging with a koan, the student is invited to experience the world in a new and transformative way, leading to a direct and intuitive understanding of the nature of reality. In sum, the purpose of a koan is to challenge the student's preconceptions, to help them develop a more direct and intimate understanding of their own mind, and to lead them to a direct and intuitive understanding of the nature of reality. As such, koans are an essential tool in Zen Buddhism and a direct means of attaining enlightenment. Here are 8 koans that are widely considered to be among the most significant in the Zen Buddhist tradition. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Before you were born, what was your original face? A flag is raised and moves in the wind. What moves? What is the Buddha? What is your true nature? What color is the wind? Does a dog have Buddha nature? What is the significance of Bodhidharma's coming from the West? To deepen our understanding, let us explore the fundamental difference between Buddhist wisdom and Western knowledge. In Buddhist teachings, there is a distinction between conventional knowledge and prajna wisdom. Conventional knowledge, as taught in the Western academic tradition, is based on the idea that knowledge can be attained through the accumulation of information and the application of reason. However, in Buddhism, Prajna wisdom is considered to be a higher form of knowledge that goes beyond this conventional understanding. Prajna wisdom is based on the idea of emptiness or shunyata, which is the concept that all phenomena are empty of inherent existence. This means that things only exist in relation to other things and are empty of a fixed or permanent nature. In the Heart Sutra, this is expressed as the phrase, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. This phrase also is a koan. This understanding of emptiness leads to the realization of the interconnectedness and interdependence of all phenomena, and ultimately to the experience of enlightenment. It is not something that can be attained through the accumulation of information or the application of reason, but rather through direct experience and realization. In contrast, conventional knowledge is limited by our conceptual framework and is subject to change as our understanding of the world changes. Prajna Wisdom, on the other hand, is considered to be a timeless and universal truth that transcends our conceptual framework and can lead to the ultimate goal of enlightenment. Before we conclude, I would like to introduce myself to you. Hey. My name is Daniel, I am from Germany, thanks for listening to this lecture. Since the content of this video can be difficult to grasp at times, I've taken an unconventional approach. I've designed the video so that it can also be used as a printable document. This means that you can access and use it offline, or even print out selected pages. With this option, you can use your favorite pen to highlight, add to, or modify the text as you see fit. Now that I've shared my insights about how to approach Zen, I'm curious about your thoughts on it. How do you approach Zen? Do you use koans or do you allow life to unfold on its own until you become more gentle with age? Please share with us your own experiences and insights. I am not sure when my next Zen art piece will arrive, but I know it will come eventually. It may not interest many people, but I will create it regardless. Obtaining the right paper for my Zen art required a lot of effort, including working with mushrooms. However, the time I spend with mushrooms is minimal compared to the time I devote to Zen. Before we end, I would like to offer my empty bowl to you. I did put a lot of work into this lecture series. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe you want to consider to buy me a coffee? I do mention this unintentionally. There is a serious reason behind it. That is why I ask. Balance is present in all aspects of life, such as summer and winter, day and night, hot and cold, and more. Taking and giving is also a polarity that requires balance. Only when there is balance can we achieve true happiness and harmony. Therefore, if you take something, such as information from the internet, it is important to give something back. Take a moment to assess if your life is in balance. If you feel inclined, you can show your support by making a donation, and I would be grateful for it. However, there are many other worthwhile projects that you can support, such as Wikipedia. Support doesn't have to be monetary either, it can be as simple as sharing a smile or leaving a kind comment. Let's spread joy and love wherever we go. Thank you for spending your time with me. Auf Wiedersehen.